Howdy, howdy, y'all. It is another Maharaj episode, or video, or whatever you want to call this. This is chapter 41, Develop the Witness Attitude. So, this chapter, especially if you're already been into the book for a bit here, this is going to feel it's like a pretty standard Maharaj conversation with someone. Which if outside of this, you might don't know what that means, but yeah, this is very, very standard. The very standard talking points you see talking about, especially for a good portion of this chapter. Well, really, the entire chapter actually. They're talking about the nani, and what I find, yeah, and so in through talking through the nani, they talk through very standard points at this point about the nani, especially for example that they're they don't fear death, and that really they already recognize themselves as especially Maharashi says, the nani is dead already. Do you expect him to die again? And then the question: surely the dissolution of the body is an important event even to the nani. Maharaj: there are no important events for a nani except when somebody reaches the highest goal. Then only his heart rejoices. All else is of no concern. The entire universe is his body. All life is his life. As in a city of lights, when one bulb burns out, it does not affect the network. So the death of a body does not affect the whole. I like that metaphor too with the light bulb. Because I think that's really amp the showing of what's going on a larger when you look at it from a larger scale, what is like death and what's going on. We don't, for example, we don't we're not sad about the deaths of of a single cell on our body. You might be devastated, like we lose an arm or a leg or a large portion of it, like that. I mean, and that's why, for example, you can calamities where like large portions of human life are lost. Yeah, I mean, that's can be that can be a lot to deal with. I mean, they even talk about, although they even mention actually the opposite. The guy, the questioner, you can kind of tell where his mindset is because he talks about how like oh when there's like an earthquake or something and many people die. I don't really feel anything. But yet when like one person murders another, I feel this great devastation or something. And I find that interesting because I understand that mindset. It's a lot about because it's a lot about the things you can control. And Maharaj talks about how there is no cause, and so even like the that so there's nothing to fret. Um, I think yeah, and it's for me the interesting part of this conversation. Well, I should say the interesting the part where I think I really want to highlight or talk about uh, is more towards the end of the conversation. Oh, actually, here's the part. Um, when when by natural causes thousands and millions of lives are extinguished, parentheses that happens in floods and earthquakes, I do not grieve. But when one man dies by the hand of man, I grieve extremely. The inevitable has its own majesty, but killing is avoidable and therefore ugly and altogether horrible. Maharaj, all happens as it happens. Calamities, whether natural or man made, happen, and there's no need to feel horrified. Questioner, how can anything be without cause? Maharaj, in every event, the entire universe is reflected. The ultimate cause is untraceable. The very idea of causation is only a way of thinking and speaking. We cannot imagine uncaused emergence. This, however, does not prove the existence of causation. Questioner, nature is mindless, hence irresponsible, but man has mind. Why is it so perverse? Maharaj, the causes of perversity are also natural. Heredity, environment, and so on. You are too quick to condemn. Do not worry about others. Deal with your own mind first. Then you realize that your mind too is part of nature. The duality will cease. Questioner. There is some mystery in it which I cannot fathom. How can the mind be a part of nature? Maharaj, because nature is in the mind. Without the mind, where is nature? Questioner. If nature is in the mind and the mind is my own, I should be able to control nature, which is not really the case. Forces beyond my control determine my behavior. Maharaj, develop the witness attitude, and you will find in your own experience that detachment brings you that brings control. No, excuse me. Develop the witness attitude, and you will find in your experience that that detachment brings control. The state of witnessing is full of power. There's nothing passive about it. So that's the last part of the whole thing, other than a quote that I'll read at the very end of this video. Um, but yes, that part there that I just read, I thought that was the most, that one jumped out at me the most in terms of just like, piquing my interest, I should say, especially because some of the claims of the questioner I found, I don't relate to them. In other words, I really don't. For example, his question of how the mind can be a part of nature. I mean, my guy, you're a part of nature as a person, right? I mean, I understand when he's trying to like do the whole mindless, nature versus like the human rationale, and us. We always separate ourselves from nature in those events, which I always find silly because we are just nature. We're just a manifestation of nature. I mean, even if you're not into the spiritual beliefs and stuff, that's on a materialistic existence. The mind is a part of nature. Like that's just you can. I think you can. You can to prove that rationally speaking. That's just on a rational level. Even so, this is even just beyond the spirit. Just beyond just the spiritual stuff. Just on even just on a rational level. So I just find those kind of like those a question of, and also when he says, if nature's in the mind and the mind is my own, I should be able to control nature. Uh, my guy. I mean, I mean, this was like made like it was. I know it wasn't made in 2023, but he wasn't been able to manipulate nature for a while. I mean, yes, we can't manipulate it like 100%, but we can certainly develop it to some extent. So yeah. I'm sorry, my dogs are barking. Barky, barky dogs. Hi, pups. I know. And the I know, pups. I know, pups. Yep, yep. Yeah, dogs, gotta love them. By the way, I also have lots of doggy shorts on this channel. So if you're like, whoa, whoa, cool dogs, please check out the rest of this channel, and you'll be able to see plenty of doggy shorts and whatnot. So, anyways, back to where I was saying before the dogs interrupted. Pretty much that, like, yeah, humans are a part of nature. So I just find that whole. I always find it silly when we try to separate ourselves out from nature like that, even in our minds and everything, and just try to pretend like, yeah, we're not part of the big show. We're a part of the universe. I mean, that's what essentially Maharaj is arguing. We are one. That's what they all argue. Um, but yeah, we definitely can manipulate nature. So I don't know why he says, oh, we can't control any of the force. Just even on a scientific, rational basis. We can do that. Like that's definitely is the case. Um, but yeah, I really liked it how he talks about this witness attitude. Um, and like it's a thing you develop. That is a state of, and this state of witnessing is full of power. And there's nothing passive about it. That seems apt for my own personal kind of journey with it all. But I'll probably end it with this quote here. I'm gonna end it with this Maharaj quote: "Earnestness, not perfection, is a precondition to self-realization. On realization, you feel complete, fulfilled, free from the pleasure-pain complex, and yet not always able to explain what happened, why, and how. You can put it only in negative terms. Nothing is wrong with me any longer. It is only by comparison with the past that you know that you are out of it." And I feel like I know, the more I read this book, yeah, the more I definitely wonder with myself, like, maybe I am on something. So, like I say, I can't recommend this book enough. Maharaj's I Am That. You should be, if you haven't been already reading this, please read it. Um, I highly recommend it. Please go back to my past videos, watch them all. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.